how to make a man fall in love with you. What is it that compels a man to not just care about you deeply, but to go out of his way with his actions to prove to you every day that he is devoted to you, that he wants to make you happy, he wants to give you the world, and he fears losing you. He fears the possibility that you would not want him and that you would potentially have a situation where he would pull away or lose interest or not commit to you. We're going to set that aside because you won't have to worry about that when a man is deeply in love with you. So, I'm Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man. If you don't know me already, and for over 20 years combined with my wife Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man they desire fast. So let's go ahead and dive into these powerful principles for you that I have today. So the eighth secret that'll make him start to fall deeply in love with you is to get out of the "he owes me" mentality. So here's the thing: when a man feels that you are coming from a place of obligation, that you are seeing his provision, his gifts to you as something that he owes you, that he should just give it to you because that's what you deserve, that's what you are entitled to from him. Whenever you are feeling this towards a man or acting in this way, you're going to start pushing him away, because then it becomes him being your slave. Then it becomes him being your little child and you being like the mother, telling him what he has to do, that he has to pick up his toys, that he has to spend time with you, that he has to go with you to the grocery store. Well, him as a free man, as an empowered man, which you want your man to be, he's going to have a choice from his free will to give to you, to make you happy or not. And to allow him that freedom, to allow him that choice, is going to make him feel empowered, and it's going to make his gifts to you feel like something precious, that he's able to be the hero. He's able to do it on his own free will, and that makes him see you in a much different light. That makes him see you as the woman that he gets to give to, not that he has to give to. It's a much different perspective. It's similar to how if you have a job, and if you're going to that job and you're saying, "Oh, I have to go to work today. I need to go to work. I'm obligated to go to work because I have to show up or I will get fired. I have to pay my bills," rather than "I get to go to work today. I am excited to go to work today. I want to go to work because I get to make a difference. I get to provide. I get to make a difference for the people in my life and put a roof over their head and put food on the table, etc., etc. And that is exciting to me." That's the kind of energy you want your man to have. Not that you are work or that you are a job, but you're another opportunity for him to give his gifts, for him to be of service, for him to provide. And so you want him to feel like he gets to give to you rather than he has to give to you. So it starts with you stopping that sense of obligation, letting him be a free man, and simply asking respectfully and vulnerably for what you want, rather than telling him what to do or even expecting that he has to do that thing for you because of whatever reason, because you gave so much to him, or because he, even if he said it, he would. That's somewhat of an obligation because he committed to it, but still coming from that place of like asking for it, asking permissively. That's going to feel much more empowering to him than that it is expected of him to give that to you. The next powerful principle, number 7, how to make a man fall in love with you, is to stop trying to manipulate his perceptions of you. So whenever you are concerned about how a man sees you, whether he likes you or not, whether he loves you or not, whether he sees you as beautiful or as ugly or as attractive or as desirable or not, then you are going to start subtly moving into manipulation. You're going to start having a goal, an outcome that you have in mind that you want to get from him. And there's a high chance that you're going to become attached to that outcome of, "I need him to like me. I need him to love me. If he doesn't love me, if he doesn't find me attractive, then I'm going to be devastated, or I'm going to be very hurt by that. I'm going to be sad about that." Now, the idea here is whenever you're attached to anything, it's likely going to move you into masculine energy, because you're going to start seeing that outcome. You're going to start trying to get that outcome. You're going to start trying to manipulate him, likely to give you what you want, whether that's his love, his affection, his adoration, his commitment, etc. So instead of manipulating his perceptions of you, you have to let that go. You have to stop caring to some extent whether he likes you or he loves you or not. Of course, if a man isn't meeting your needs and providing you with what you need to be happy in a relationship over time, and you're using everything that will teach you, like our Magnetic Feminine 90-day challenge, and he hasn't shifted over that period of 90 days, then you're likely with a broken man or a man who doesn't have any care for you. And for whatever reason, he's not showing that care for your heart. You need to be willing to walk away, because that's also how you hold your value as a woman. But beyond that, you need to let go. You need to actually let him see you for who you really are and be vulnerable with him and not try to control his perceptions of you. Instead, showing up authentically, like, this is me. Because think about it. What would a high value woman do? A high value woman would show up to the relationship as, I am me. I am who I am at my core, my feminine core. And I'm not going to try to put on an act or put on a mask to make him like me or to get him to do anything if he's not showing up for me in the way that I need, even though I'm showing up as my most high value, magnetic, feminine, queenly woman, because I'm using everything that Brody and Antia teach me with Magnetize Your Man, then I need to step away. But until that point, it's better to be authentic with who you are, authentic with your needs, authentic with your desires, and be able to use magnetic feminine communication in the way we teach you to communicate your desires, to communicate your needs, and to ask for help, communicate problems that you have that he can help you with, and either allow him to help you or not. But it's much better to have that approach than to try to manipulate his perceptions of you and do all these performances and walk on eggshells and try to make him manage how he sees you, that he only sees you in a good light, that he only sees you as the good girl or the nice girl or the attractive woman or the goddess or whatever you're trying to get him to see you as. To let that go, instead to be authentic with who you are, connected to your feminine core, and let that light shine so much brighter that that compels him to you, because you're going to have flaws. You're going to have imperfections. We're all imperfectly perfect. And to embrace that and to allow him to see those flaws, even to vulnerably share some of these things with him, that's going to be much more compelling to him over time, much more magnetic than you treating him like a child or treating him like a stupid idiot that has to be manipulated in order to give you what you want, in order to love you, in order to like you. You'd rather have it be authentic, coming from an authentic place, from a true place, still being respectful, still being that high value woman that will teach you how to be, and have him give you what you want on his own, because that's going to be much more likely to last over time than the manipulated perception. Before we get to our next point, if you haven't yet, I highly recommend taking our free Magnetize Your Man quiz to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man you learn the more advanced strategies around magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication. All you have to do to get that now is click the link in the description or comments below, or you can go to our website, Magnetize Your Man, to get our custom support, magnetizeyourman.com, to get our custom coaching support for your journey as well, starting today. All right, the next powerful principle to make a man fall in love is to show him the impact. We'll start that over. Show him the impact he has on you in a respectful way. So being a magnetic feminine woman means you're like an open book. You are receptive to him. You're like a mirror. You're like there's this old toy you have as kids where you put these metal needles over your hand, and it leaves an imprint of the hand on top. And so that is like what you are as a woman, that he's going to be saying and doing multiple things in your relationship together, and that you're naturally as a woman going to have a response to those things. You're going to have emotions that come up. You're going to have stories that you're telling yourself and thoughts that come up for yourself around what he does. But again, it's about you. It's about your feelings, your thoughts, your perceptions, and to share those things with him. So whether a man has done something that makes you happy and makes you feel good, makes you feel relaxed, makes you feel cared for and confident or loved, you're going to share those things with him in the right way, using magnetic feminine communication, because you want to be very respectful and vulnerable when you do this, because that's when you're coming from feminine energy rather than masculine energy, trying to tell him what to do or manipulate his perceptions or control him in some way, which we've already talked a bit about. And so then you're going to share with him those feelings, and you're also going to share with him feelings that are quote unquote negative. So when you have an impact, such as, for example, a client was sharing with us the other day that a man had said he was going to call her boyfriend said he was going to call her at a certain time, but then he didn't. And then she just kind of let it go. She didn't say anything about it, but she was resentful towards him, and she didn't trust him. And in fact, she was starting to lose interest in the relationship because of that. But I said to her, the fact that he didn't call you back isn't actually the red flag. The red flag, it would be that he didn't call you back and then you shared your feelings about that with him respectfully and vulnerably, and then he didn't do it again. That would be the red flag. Similar to that saying, fool me once, shame on fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. If he fools you twice, then it's a red flag. Then it's your problem because you didn't speak up, or it's a sign that he is not the right partner for you, and you should start the process of probably walking away from that relationship potentially. But the idea here is he has to know what the impact was on what he did for you, because men aren't as emotionally attuned as women. Men aren't often reading the signals with your body language or knowing exactly what the impact was that they had on you. So you need to explicitly share, oftentimes, those feelings. Again, in a respectful and vulnerable way is the key, because that's about being the queen, being a high value woman who believes her feelings are worth sharing. And then he can understand. And then he knows, oh, shoot, I didn't mean for you to, I didn't know that was going to make you feel sad or upset or not trust me as much, etc. And I want to make it better. I'm sorry for that. I want to make it better. I'm not going to do that again. And then you have to watch his actions. Now, that's the bigger red flag. So it's actually more of a red flag for yourself if you didn't speak up and you didn't share. And what was the reason why? Because you might think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But actually, it is a big deal long term, because you're not giving him that chance to understand how he can make you happy. Because if a man has any level of care for you, he's going to want to make you happy. He just needs that plan outlaid on how to do that very clearly. The next powerful principle to make a man fall in love is to develop feminine self-worth. This means valuing yourself and believing that you are worthy, believing that your feelings are worthy, that your heart is worthy, that you are worth speaking up. You are worth sharing your feelings, that your feelings matter, your feelings are valuable. As long as they're shared in the right way, a man wants to hear them and he wants to help with them. Also assuming that he's a healthy man, because if he's a broken man, even if you share your feelings in the most vulnerable, respectful way possible, and you believe that you are worthy and you are valuable on a deep level, but he's still not treating you well, well, then he's probably broken. And you need to start stepping away from a relationship like that, because a woman who has high self-worth would not stay in an abusive situation or a situation where she has to lower her standards for him rather than him meeting her at her standard. So you need to develop that self-worth. How do you do that? You do that by consistently proving to yourself that you are a high value woman, that you are a worthy woman. You do that through your actions. You do that through the boundaries you set with yourself by not accepting bad behavior from people around you, being willing to walk away, and being willing to speak up about situations that are not working for you, feelings that you have around them, using magnetic feminine communication so that the people around you understand when they have crossed that threshold, when they are treating you less than you believe you are worth. And if you're not speaking up, then that's an issue in itself. That means you're likely being more of the doormat archetype. You're walking on eggshells, you're stuffing things under the rug and starting to build up resentment, which will eventually come out anyways by you making sarcastic remarks, by you not keeping your word with him, by you potentially talking to other men, even though you're in an exclusive relationship, or doing things like that that are going to make him feel disrespected, which will then likely cause him to be even more unloving towards you, and you create the downward spiral that we want to avoid. However, when you speak up, you share your feelings respectfully and vulnerably using magnetic feminine communication. He understands what's going on for you. He wants to change it. He wants to make it better, and you feel more loved. You feel more respectful towards him, and he wants to be more loving towards you. You create an upward spiral, and the relationship gets better and better and better. That's what we want for you ultimately. The fourth secret to make a man fall deeply in love with you is to stop initiating nice gestures or doing things for him without being led. Excuse me. That'll wake you up. All right. So to stop initiating those things that you think are helping him and that you think are nice, that make him like you, which again is likely moving into you trying to manipulate his perceptions of you, of like, oh, if I just do enough things for him, if I wash his socks enough times, if I cook him enough meals, if I make sure I'm showing up for him in all these different ways that he needs me, helping him with his job, helping him with his family, doing this, doing that, then he's going to love me. Then he's going to fall deeply in love. He's never going to want to leave me. And actually, that's not how it works, because at some level, we talked about this before, when you are initiating those nice gestures, you are likely starting to treat him like a child. You're likely starting to try to manipulate and control him, and you're only doing those nice things to try to get something in return. You're trying to get his love. You're trying to get his attention. You're trying to get his commitment, or this feeling that he'll never leave you. And so those are all you trying to get an outcome, which is masculine energy. And that's one of the big reasons why we say giving is masculine, receiving is feminine. So anytime you're giving to a man, you're trying to make him happy, you're trying to make his needs, you're trying to meet his needs, you're trying to make him like you, you're actually in masculine energy. You're trying to control him. You're trying to lead him. You're trying to get something from him. And you may say, well, I'm just a loving person. I'm just a nice person. Okay, well, that's great if it's authentic. And that's what gives us the other key to this puzzle here, how to actually have the polarity and have him feel strong attraction and love and devotion for you, and you being able to meet that need to want to give and provide also in your feminine way to your man. Well, you do that by him leading you to do that. If he hasn't led you to do those things, if he hasn't asked you to do those things, or if he hasn't at the very least given you permission to do those things for him, then you are in mothering energy. You are manipulating him. You are trying to get him to like you in some way, likely. So the solution to that is, instead, before you give anything to him, whether it is you do want to make him a sandwich, or you do want to give him a massage, or you do want to give him a BJ, or whatever it might be, depending on the context of your relationship, you ask him first. Hey, babe, would you like me to do something special for you? Can I ask if I can make you a sandwich? Can I allow you, would you like me to give you a massage? So at the very least, you're asking that first, so that you give him that ability to say, oh no, babe, I'm good. I got it. Because whether or not the risk is also that you're moving into a zone where you're trying to solve his problems. You're trying to do the things for him that he should really be doing for you, that he should be meeting your needs, that he should be providing for you, that he should be protecting you, that he should be making you happy, because that's the masculine role. The masculine energy is providing, protecting, and being the hero. The feminine energy is receiving, sharing her feelings, being open and available, being respectful and vulnerable, and following his leadership, just like in a dance, just like in a beautiful partner dance, salsa, Latin dances, West Coast swing, ballroom. I've done almost all of them, and that's one of the big principles you'll learn in dancing, is the masculine is leading and giving that direction and providing, and the feminine is following and enjoying, because the part of the leadership is, it's for her pleasure and it's for his pleasure. And if he's not leading you well, and if he's not letting you do those things that make you happy, or giving you things that make you happy, then that's a bigger problem, and you need to have a conversation about that. Having a magnetic feminine conversation to actually shift the dynamic back to him being loving and devotional, which we will teach you how to do. All right, the third powerful principle here is to let him feel needed. So a masculine man, he needs to feel that he's providing value. If he doesn't feel like he can make you happy, if he doesn't feel like you need him, then he's going to feel in his core, what am I doing here? Why am I with her? She doesn't need me. I don't have any value to give. I'm starting to get depressed because I feel like I'm a soldier without a sword. I'm a soldier without a mission. I'm a boat that doesn't have a journey to go on. I'm just sitting here in the harbor. I have no purpose here. And so if he doesn't have a purpose, his masculine self-esteem is going to be reduced, and he's going to ultimately become a shell of a man. So he needs to have a purpose, which is why you want to give him space to pursue his bigger mission in life, which could be related to his career, could be related to his family or the causes that he believes in. But then you could also become his deeper purpose. You can give him a sense of that heroic instinct being activated, where you allow him to help you with different things. You ask for help with things around the house, with your computer, with your phone, with your car, with whatever he specializes in as a man, whatever his unique skill sets are. You ask him for help with those things. Ask for his advice, ask for his tips. And the ultimate sin with this, the reverse, the opposite of letting him feel needed, is when you say things like, oh, I can do it myself, or I have this handled. Or even worse, saying like, I don't need you, or I don't value you, or saying that in so many different words. That's going to make a man feel terrible. Really, if he's a healthy man, he's going to feel, why am I here? What am I doing? This is a mess. I need to fix myself. I need to fix my life. I need to get out of here. Likely because he's not going to feel that sense of purpose. He's going to feel meaninglessness in his life. So even if you're in a situation where you're making more money than him, or you're the quote unquote stronger one in some sense, you want to even ramp this up even more and find even more things that he can provide for you, things that he can solve, and avoid solving those things for him. You might want to help him with different problems. You got to stop yourself from that and give him a chance to figure it out on his own or not. Let him go through the struggle. Let him push and challenge himself and struggle with the process, just like a child learning how to walk. If you stop the child from learning how to walk, it's never going to learn. It has to fall down a couple times. It has to get on its feet again. And so sometimes men get into low places where they're kind of like that. They're kind of like a child learning to walk again, whether he had a medical issue happen or a career change. You need to let him struggle on his own to figure it out rather than you trying to solve it for him. Just be his cheerleader. Don't be his coach. All right, the second principle here to make a man fall in love is to relinquish control of your man. And this is ultimately a power principle that we give you around building masculine feminine polarity, is you have to let him be a free man. And you have to relinquish all sense of trying to control him and trying to make him whoever you want him to be, trying to change him, trying to move him into a certain area in his life. Let him go. Let him be himself. Let him have his own empowered decision-making abilities. Because if you try to control him, even if you have good intentions, ultimately it's disrespectful to him as a man, and he's going to start feeling disrespected, and he's going to start feeling a lack of love for you, a lack of attraction, because the polarity will be gone. And so you have to let that go. And instead of trying to control him, let him take control. Just like in a car, there can only be one person driving the car at any time. If you're the one driving the car, he's in the passenger seat, he's in the feminine role. Well, what do you have to do in that situation? You have to stop driving. You have to get out of the car. You have to go sit in a different seat and say, okay, well, I don't want to drive anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted trying to make our relationship work. I'm exhausted trying to make you happy. I'm exhausted trying to make you love me. And I'm going to sit back here for a little bit. And would you please, may I ask, can you drive? Can you take control? Can you lead us forward? I would love that. I would feel so happy with that. I would feel ecstatic with that. And now there's an empty seat. So either the car's not going anywhere, or he's going to have to get out or move over the middle compartment section to get into the driver's seat and start taking control. Start leading. That's what a healthy man is built to do. It's in our DNA. It was designed that way by God for a man to lead his household and to provide and to protect and to be the hero. And if he's not doing that, he will at some point, because every man has it deep in his core. And if he doesn't, then the alternative is just complete depression and meaninglessness as a man. And he'll probably turn to drugs or whatever it is that men will turn to, unfortunately, when they're in that situation. But men need a purpose. They need an outlet for that hero instinct inside of them. So you create that space for him. And if he doesn't sit in the seat, that doesn't mean you go back into it and say, okay, well, I guess I got to take control again, or else the relationship isn't moving forward. Like, you have to make an agreement with yourself and take the risk, burn the ships, and say, if he doesn't take that seat, then I guess we're not going anywhere. And eventually I'm just going to get out of this car. But I refuse to drive this car any longer. I'm going to let him do it. And if he doesn't, okay, he's not the right man for me. I'm going to use Brody and Antia's Magnetic Feminine 90-day challenge. And if that doesn't shift after these 90 days, then I'm out. But I'm not going to take that driver's seat anymore. And so that's a scary move. It's a bold move, but it's a move that can allow you to move your life forward, paradoxically. By not moving forward, by not driving anymore in the relationship, you're actually allowing the relationship to move forward because you're giving him that option to step in there. And you could even encourage him through asking him for help or sharing your feelings around that situation using magnetic feminine communication, where now he feels inspired. That masculine hero instinct is woken up again within him to take that leadership on his own. Now, the first principle to make a man fall in love with you is to be willing to walk away from anything less than devotion. So ultimately, if a man isn't fully devoting himself to you in all the different ways, wanting to hear your feelings, wanting to check in with you, wanting to make decisions that make you happy, wanting to lead the family, the relationship forward, wanting to commit to you in all the different ways that you want to be committed to. If he's not doing those things, you have to be willing to walk away. It doesn't mean that you do walk away necessarily, but to be willing to walk away, that there is a threshold that you have, where if a man isn't meeting those needs, it's not the right fit. It's not the right relationship for you. Now, what I recommend is a process. It's our Magnetic Feminine 90-day challenge. You could also do it a bit longer. You could do it as a 180-day challenge if you want, or you could do it shorter. It depends on how much you actually care about this man that you're with. But you give it a period of time, let's say 3 months from now, and then you're going to use everything that we're going to teach you in that period of time. You're going to master the principles of magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication. Ideally, you're going to join our coaching community and get real support from me and from everyone else, which again, you can get by clicking the link in the description below, taking our free Magnetize Your Man quiz, or going to magnetizeyourman.com. But you're going to learn these principles. You're going to master them on a deep level. You're going to actually do the step-by-step on how to communicate these things, these problems that you have to him, these desires that you have for commitment or for devotion or for more love or for resolving some kind of issue that you both have been having for a while. And if he doesn't shift it, if he doesn't solve the problem, if he's not at least making an effort and having an upward trajectory of some kind in the next 90 days, then you have to be willing to walk away, because it would be a disservice to you, and it would be a sign of being a low value woman if you were to continue to stay in a relationship that's not shifting in that way, even though you're using everything we teach you. You're being very respectful, vulnerable with him. You're connected to your feminine energy using all the other principles that we'll give you in the advanced techniques as well. And if he's not shifting, then that's a clear sign it's not the right relationship for you. He's not capable. Because ultimately, all that matters at the end of the day is he showing care for your heart, or is he not showing care for your heart? If he is showing care for your heart, that's great, continue. And if he's not showing care for your heart over time, nothing shifting, then you need to be willing to get out of a situation like that. Now, of course, you can have a lot of conversations leading up to that point, because I don't believe you should ever walk away from a relationship without a man being very clear, knowing exactly why you're walking away. You have these conversations that we give you in a very healthy way, a constructive way, and it may be hard sometimes. It may take some courage to be this vulnerable, to do what we actually recommend, but we'll help you with that. And once you get there, and once you have these conversations, ultimately, it's about who you're becoming as a woman. Whether it continues with him or not, it's about who you're going to be, which is a lifelong journey, because that's what you're going to hold with yourself the rest of your life, and that's what's going to make your life amazing, regardless of whether it continues with this specific man or not. You're going to attract another high quality, high value man into your life because you're being a high value feminine woman. Masculine energy is attracted to feminine energy. High value masculine energy is attracted to high value feminine energy. It's a law of the universe. It's a law of polarity, and we will get you there. And everything else good, all the abundance in other areas of your life will come into your life at that point as well, because of who you are now being, which is the ultimate treasure. So much love. Hope this was helpful, and I look forward to talk to you again on our next powerful trainings very soon. Bye-bye.